Yikes, you be like, hey yo, what's the price? Yikes, when it come to me, I do nothing twice. Yikes, 223, got you taking.
I called the morgue, he was not there. So now you just gotta miss somebody. Give me my son's body, let me bury my son. Why must we keep? You took a father, a brother, an uncle. You took my son.
On Saturday, January 27, 2024, Jermaine Fairley went missing after attending a friend's funeral in Repast. Tamika Fairley, his mother, said she received a call around 2:30 p.m. that day, informing her that her son had been shot at the repast. When she arrived at the scene, she found a pile of blood, and even more blood going up the side of a nearby house. According to his friends, someone shot and killed him. However, his body is unaccounted for, and nobody who was there wanted to talk.
Shots rang out over the weekend on Detroit's west side. A family says their loved one was hit. Days later, there's still no sign of it.
Relatives say someone shot and killed 28-year-old Jermaine Fairley on Saturday and dumped his body somewhere.
Police responded to the scene that day, but they were not able to locate Fairley or anything that could reveal where he is.
The mother of Jermaine Fairley tells me, according to his friends, this is where he was shot and then driven away in his own vehicle, never to be seen or heard from again. Loved ones have been searching for his body since Saturday.
So I called all the hospitals, he wasn't there. So then I thought the worst, that maybe he's at the morgue. I called the morgue, he was not there. So now you just gotta miss somebody.
Tamika Fairley says she last talked to her son Jermaine Fairley on Friday. He let her know he would be attending a funeral and repast on Saturday. It was on Saturday she says she took another phone call, this time learning her son had been shot at the repast while standing outside near Linwood and Wildermere with a group of friends.
Give me my son's body, let me bury my son. Why must we keep? Why we gotta keep searching and they know where he's at?
Tamika Fairley wanted to speak with us at the last place she knew her son was alive.
As I was leaving work, I get a phone call from the lady from the gas station. She told me my son was shot.
The woman directed her here to this home on Wildermere and Puritan on the city's west side.
A pile of blood going up along the side of this house was puddles of blood tracings as well.
She believes the blood belonged to her son, Jermaine Fairley.
And he got shot with a bunch of people here. Everybody just up, left, fled the scene, just ran off.
Jermaine lived down the street. Tamika says he was hanging out here with friends Saturday after a repast.
Said it was a fight amongst family members, two brothers from what I'm hearing. And I don't know who, somebody tried to break up the fight, they broke it up. They got mad at my son, called him out his name a few times, and then they didn't know. They said the guy just up and shot him back in the back of the head.
Reportedly, a fight broke out at the repast where Jermaine was allegedly shot in the head and no one bothered to call 911. Instead, it's alleged that his body was placed in his own car and someone drove off with the body. Not too long after, the car would be found abandoned and burning, but his body wasn't inside. Tamika believes the blood found at the nearby home belonged to Jermaine, even though there was no sign of him. Jermaine had been hanging out at the home with friends following the repast.
The family of a Detroit man say they are in desperate need of the public's help finding his body.
This bizarre case goes back to January 27th, when Jermaine was attending a funeral and repast for a family friend. Some sort of fight broke out, and Jermaine ended up being shot in the back of the head, but no one would say who did it.
And nobody want to say anything. It's all, I guess, a street code. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed, I'm a rat or whatever.
No one ended up calling 911. Instead, someone put his body in his vehicle and drove off.
According to her son's friends, no one called 911.
Those friends aren't talking, and even more concerning, Jermaine's car was found burning outside an abandoned building 5 miles away.
This body wasn't in there.
No sign of 28-year-old Jermaine Fairley, nor his phone, which had been shut off.
It was confirmed by the cops that was his car, but his body was not in the car.
His car was later recovered that day, engulfed in flames. His body was not in the car and had been missing since then.
After she learned of the Fairley says she called Detroit police to the scene, where Jermaine's blood remained, and they brought a canine. But so far, no movement on the case, as loved ones seek justice for Jermaine and closure for 5 children missing their father.
We've been looking everywhere, abandoned houses, abandoned buildings, empty fields, lots.
Jermaine's body was reportedly discovered Friday, February 2nd, in a sewer on the city's west side. An anonymous tip ultimately led to the discovery of Jermaine's body. 2 people of interest are being sought, but police haven't identified them.
On the city's west side, where police say a body was found again, 2 o'clock this afternoon. They're told that a body was found in the sewer. They get out here. Sure enough, they do find a body in the sewer. 2 hours later, around 4 o'clock, they successfully removed the man's body from the sewer. Now it's time for that investigation. Who was he? How did he get there? How did he die? All of these questions are what we're asking police.
This right here is where Jermaine Fairley's body was found last Friday on Tyler and Sussex on Detroit's west side. Now the family is left wondering how someone could do something so cruel to the father of 5.
You took a family man that had 5 kids. And they're not grown, they're babies.
Tips came in, and on Friday, a body was found in a sewer on the city's west side.
Well, over the weekend, the Fairleys got the heartbreaking confirmation that Jermaine was gone.
Police were called out to the area of Tyler Avenue and Sussex Street.
We received an anonymous tip that he could possibly be in a sewer in that area, which that's what led us, our detectives and our canine, searching.
Detroit police confirm that Jermaine was found in that sewer, along with a weapon underneath him. That weapon is now being processed by Michigan State Police. And DPD is looking for 2 persons of interest in the case and hope they come forward soon to put an end to this family's heartbreak.
I thank them for being brave enough to come across and say, hey, this was wrong. We know where he at.
Tamika Fairley says without the public's help, Jermaine's body may not have been found. At 2 o'clock Friday afternoon in a sewer, they found a body and a day later, Tamika learned it was the body of her 28-year-old son.
You took a father, a brother, an uncle. You took my son. For what? For nothing.
Tamika's at a loss, trying to figure out what to tell his kids, most of whom are too young to understand. Police say they've identified 2 persons of interest, but no one's in custody yet. Tamika is hoping for justice.
They should spend the rest of their life in jail. The only difference between them is I don't wish death on them.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Jermaine Fairley. I would normally include friends, but those so-called friends are most likely the ones who did this to him. This is just another example of a life tragically taken by those who were considered friends. And yes, while friends and family may fight amongst each other, it should never rise to the point that one takes the life of another. And it's sad that we're living in a time where you gotta watch your friends. You gotta be a real demon to not just take a friend's life, but also hide the body in a sewer. And I'm willing to bet that those same individuals who were considered friends were among the crowd at Jermaine's balloon release. But I really want to know your thoughts on this one. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't already and you're digging the content, subscribe to the channel, because I got more videos coming. Thank y'all for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one.
I ain't had not a shop here.
They so ugly. Oh, look how ugly they are. It's so ugly.
Yikes, you be like, hey yo, what's the price? Yikes, when it come to me, I do nothing twice. Yikes, 223, got you taking.